Welcome all to Let's Get It, where we attack today's local or national hottest sports topics. I'm your host, Randy Dutkin, and let's get after it. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Get It. We got it going on this morning. We got it for the first time. For those of you who've been watching, we've been having a little technical difficulties to start the show recently. Hope you all are doing well on a beautiful Sunday morning. It's hot, but we are all excited as the Sixers and Atlanta Hawks will tip off this afternoon at 1 o'clock. We got a lot of discussion of that. Got a lot of discussion coming up about the NBA playoffs, which have been nothing but short of phenomenal. But before we get into that, as usual, Coach, how are you this morning?
I'm doing well. It is absolutely hot. You're right about that. One thing I will always do, though, is I'll take the hot over the cold. I can't stand being cold. So this weather is much enjoyed by myself. But everything's going well. Just counting down the days of school. There's still too many left, but It's all good.
Jay, how you doing?
Hey, man, I'm good, bro. You right. It's hot as hell. You know what I mean? And it's the wrong time. My air conditioner ain't working. So it's the wrong time for it to be hot as hell and no AC. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it does bring me nostalgic because when we growing up in Long Island, we didn't have no central air, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we had probably one air conditioner that had to cool off the whole house, and it never worked. So, I'm used to these hot summer heat, but I like my AC though.
No, I get that. See, now on the other hand, I'm a cold guy, as you know, Jay, from experience of driving in the car with me. I'd have the AC on a January morning.
Yeah.
Well, listen, before we get into it too, we got to wish Jay a happy birthday.
Oh man, I appreciate y'all.
And I was going to say,
I actually will.
Congratulations, sir. This is what is it now?
45, man. 40. It's halfway to 90, man. You know what I mean? So, definitely grateful. Just looking forward to spending time with family, man. And just really grateful at being 45. You know what I'm saying? That's a blessing. So halfway to 90. So we'll keep it going on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Well, hope you have a great day. Try to stay cool.
Absolutely.
I think every year, especially now, but all the time, especially now, you got to be thankful for another year.
Yeah, as my man says, you only go around one time. Man. So you know what? I'm trying to make the best of it. I was in the mall yesterday, man. My daughter brought me some hot New Balance. Got some new hot little joints out. So check them out. I don't know if y'all into sneakers or whatever, but they had some nice New Balances. They're pretty decent, though. But so I thank her for giving me some sneakers and stuff.
All right. Well, I know we are excited about it. Game 1 today coming up, the Sixers and the Hawks. I mean, there's a lot of excitement about. There's a little bit of anxiety out there, I think, with some fans too, as far as what's going to be with this series. I know some people are, not worried at all. Then there's some people out there, the anxiety, and there's people out there, and I think that's just for ratings in the professional world, saying that the Hawks could take out the Sixers in this round, which I don't really foresee that happening. But we'll get into that. The first thoughts when you come to it is you look at the Sixers and the Hawks on paper as it is, and you say the Sixers should win this series. I mean, I do think that the Hawks could grab a game, maybe even 2 in the series, but I don't foresee the Sixers losing this series at all. I mean, we'll get into breaking it down. But Coach, what are your first thoughts on the series?
I feel good about it for the Sixers. I feel better about it than I did about the Washington series. Not meaning that they're gonna win it or that they have. Washington's better than Atlanta, but just my natural gut is just telling me that this is going to be a good series for the Sixers. I think the matchups are good for the Sixers. I think they have a bunch of guys they can put on Trae Young. I think it all comes down to Embiid, but even without a 100% Embiid, I think they can still win. I think he does have to be on the floor for the majority of the series.
Yeah, absolutely. Jay, what are your thoughts?
I do feel good. Only thing that gives me a little pause is that Atlanta's hot, but Philly's not too bad either, though. You know what I'm saying? So that was a great closeout victory that they had. With just them balling and the way they just. Part of me, I was that close. I like making bold predictions. Most y'all know me by now. I like to make bold predictions, and I like to talk a little shit behind what I say. Right? But I really felt like they was gonna blow them out. I don't know why I felt like that. At first, I was nervous, and I was like, they about to blow their behinds out the gym. You know what I'm saying? Just for the simple fact that Embiid's hurt everybody. And plus, I feel like they stole that game in Washington. And part of me, I want to put some of the onus on, and I never go that way. But the officiating was horrible down in Washington.
It was.
Okay, and it was one call on Danny Green that was like, oh man, and everything just kind of like fumbled over and but they couldn't catch up no more. You know what I'm saying? So I knew they was going to close that out. But I could tell you like this, Atlanta's hot, and they play well at home. And if they're moving the ball at that high pick and roll with Trae Young, and if he's hitting, we're going to have some problems. So, but I look forward to, Doc Rivers kind of scheming against that and being able to solve that problem. So I think we can get it done without Embiid, actually. I do think that we need to have him on the floor at different periods of time to gear up for the finals, the Eastern Conference finals.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I think you're lucky in a sense that you have to play the Hawks, a team that you could beat without him. You do have enough talent to beat him without him.
Right, you should beat them without Embiid.
But Howard has to play smart, though.
Well, absolutely, because that's the problem though with that. Howard has potential to get in foul trouble on a regular basis. So if you're dependent on him being your big guy, and he gets in foul trouble, then all of a sudden, the low post is opened up. Guys like John Collins and whatnot. So
right, but John Collins, he can shoot too.
Capella,
but it's Capella. It's that pick and roll they do. And everybody got up for the Knicks series. Like, it was different with Atlanta playing the Knicks. Like, the Knicks is, like Thibodeau, that's the knock on Thibodeau. Thibodeau can get you defensively, but when it comes to offensive schemes and stuff like that, he falls short there. So, now you're facing, for lack of a better word, a juggernaut, so to speak. So you're not going to be able to do those same things. So game one's critical. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You want to come out here today. You want to win this game, and I mean I think that as soon as Embiid went down, and I think the biggest thing with Sixers fans is that we still haven't been given a clear answer as to how he's doing. You got that he got the torn meniscus, but you're hearing one side, if this was a regular season, he'd be sitting for 6 or 8 weeks. And then on the other side, we can play through it. And I think that's what's got Sixers fans worried is that you're not really sure what Embiid you're getting right now.
Who said that he'd be sitting for 6 to 8 weeks?
Oh, no, I did read one of the doctors out there was saying, and everyone has their different opinions. They're saying if there was just a regular season and they could afford to sit him for a while, he would sit.
Okay.
But the biggest thing is that with Embiid and, when he gets injured like that, the negative thoughts start creeping in the head as a Sixers fan. Like, here we go. We're on our way and Embiid gets hurt. My thing too is, I think he's going to be out there. Like I said, I think he's going to be able to produce for the team. Mm-hmm. I'm not so much concerned, like I said, about this series, but if we're able to get past this series, it's the next series. Whether we're facing the Bucks or we're facing the Nets. I mean, last night the Nets blew the Bucks out of the water. So
I mean, you know what? For a big part of that game, I was like, it was the same old Bucks. But something I saw at the end of the game, and it was like Giannis and he seemed upset. He seemed fired up. Like, come on, let's go. Like almost like, all right, we took this L. We're gonna come back though. I don't know. So it gives me hope a little bit, but for the most part, I was like, same old Bucks, Same old Bucks,
Yeah, I mean, I did see what you were saying. It was like, let's go off the court. But I mean, if whatever it is, whether it's the Bucks or it's the Nets, the Sixers are going to need Embiid playing 100% to beat either one of those.
Oh, sure it is.
So I don't, so if you got Embiid who is 60, 70%, that's not good enough to beat them. I mean, we're excited about it. I mean, when it comes down to it, though, like I could actually see, because I don't know, when there's no determination whether or not Embiid's playing today. I mean, I know that it seems like it's a game time decision.
It's crazy. I don't know. I mean, I have to think he's playing. I think if he wasn't playing, I think we would already know that. I think he's got it. I mean, I can't.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and I would have assumed so too. And I mean, I think that they want to make it so that they take advantage of the home court. He comes out here, Joel Embiid, and then the place goes nuts, and they
for sure,
and maybe he only plays a little bit. Maybe he just does like a Willis Reed or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, maybe he doesn't play the whole game and he just plays little spots to see how he does or whatever. Because do you really need him? I mean, of course you need him at all times, but I mean, you know, their biggest center is Clint Capella, right? Yeah. So, you know, and most of his stuff is on the screen and rolls and stuff like that, lobs and stuff. So, you know, I think they'll be okay, but you know, we'll see. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, I'll be honest, when he went down, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's everybody's
serious.
It was over. I mean, that's what every Sixers fan immediate thought is. And, you know, my thing is, and I know that it's kind of, this is the doomsday kind of thought process, but as a Philadelphia fan, you know, we're kind of used to it. Is I look at it, I'm like, how much longer is Embiid going to be able to be healthy in the career moving forward? Like, I hate to say, but I don't think Embiid has like more than another 3 to 4 good years in him.
So when he's 31, because he's 30, he's only 27.
That's what I'm just saying. Like, I think you're going to see a drop. I'm not saying he's not going to still be in the league, and I'm not saying he's not going to still be productive, but he's not going to be that dominant player that he has been. And I feel like the injuries are just going to catch up to him. And, you know, so I feel like when we talk about this window of time for the Sixers, like this next 2-3 year window is either now or never.
Yeah, I agree. I was having this conversation the other day. I gave him 2 more years playing at this level.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, like you said, I still think he'll be in the league, but playing at this MVP caliber level, I gave him 2 more years. And, you know, just like he can't stay healthy. And I don't know why he falls the way he does and things like that. Like he's just always But going back to what we were talking about before, I think it's important for the Sixers when Embiid doesn't play and they know he's not playing, they come out differently.
Yeah.
When it's a late scratch or he gets hurt in the middle of the game, they don't have that adjustment. We're like, okay, this is how we play without him. So I think it's important, even if we don't know, I think it's important that the team knows, the other players know if he's playing or not early. Because I feel like Ben definitely plays for the most part with a different level of aggression. Tobias is different. You know, your boy Max, he gets ready when Embiid's not playing. He keeps ready to play. So I think it's important that the team at least knows this early, so that they come out with that mindset instead of just it's Joel's team.
Oh man,
I agree.
No,
I totally agree.
100% though.
Yeah, Ben does come out and seem like a little more energy, right? A little more aggressiveness. He seems to want to come out and really get busy. You know what I'm saying? So you're right about that. I totally agree. I totally agree. Now let me ask you a question though. Has he won you over? And I know you always say you don't have a problem with him.
But and in defense of Marcus, you always say he's not that he's never liked.
That's what I'm saying. Right.
But he's just, when we talk about him being untradeable, that's where Marcus is like, hey, no.
Well, he's untradeable he's a piece though.
He's not I'll say this. He's not and I don't think he ever was a throw-in in a trade. He's not a throw.
I think he could be a centerpiece.
He could be a big piece of a trade. Mm-hmm. My only issue with I'll still trade him for James Harden any day of the week. Like I'll trade him.
No, I wouldn't.
Like
I don't know.
So, but
I don't know.
But I'll say this: he's playing way better than Shake.
Oh, big time!
I mean, Shake,
big time. Shake is selfish. Shake's selfish. Selfish Shake. He's selfish, man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he's going down to the bottom of the rotation. I mean, I don't think you're going to see him at all this series. I mean, maybe
I don't know. Well, you're definitely going to see Maxey because Maxey's a quick guard.
No, you'll see Maxey, but all of a sudden, even Corky has moved himself in front of Shake.
I mean, Corky does that. Like when he played well that last game, right?
Yeah.
So he always surprised you.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. I mean, Maxey's been awesome. I mean, he
actually has been.
He's been that spark. I mean, the thing is with this team still, I mean, a lot of it revolves around the intensity that Ben Simmons brings to the floor.
I mean, that is true.
If when Ben comes out, like you were saying, Coach, about, if he comes out and he is on fire and he has that intensity from the start, that's when the Sixers jump out to these early leads. When he's hesitant, when he's, passive, and not aggressive, that's when the Sixers fall into their ruts. When you get aggressive, Ben, you get an entirely different Sixers team. And that opens up the shots for Tobias. It opens up the shots for Seth, Danny Green, everybody. If Seth Curry is shooting like he did the other day, we got nothing to worry about. I mean, when he came out with 30 points,
It's going to be interesting to see who Atlanta puts on, Ben, because matchup-wise, they don't really have – I don't know who it's going to be, because if they start Collins, Capella, and DeAndre Hunter like they did against the Knicks, I would have to think that you put DeAndre Hunter, your better defender, on Tobias, like they did with Randall.
Mm-hmm.
And he did a great job on Randall. But then, you can't put Trae Young on him. You can't put Bogdanovich on him. They're too little. So I guess you go John Collins, and Simmons should be able to kill him. So, it's going to be interesting just to see all the matchups and how all that goes down. And that's what basketball is, a game of matchups, and, who can take more advantage of their matchup. So it'll be interesting.
Nah, true indeed. I mean, I don't see them. I don't see them really having any issues. I don't. But it's those ancillary pieces. Okay. Like Gallinari. Gallinari been playing well, man. He ain't really been balling like that, but he played well. He got up for the Knicks. He remembers them trading him and stuff like that. So you have these other pieces that are stepping up. And if they step like, Bogdanovich? Oh, my goodness. He was shooting like crazy. Yeah. So, if they have to get out on them and stop them. And I'm not sure what the scheme is, whatever, but whatever scheme that, Thibodeau was using didn't work. Okay, clearly. But they did tell me, my man did tell me that Noel was kind of like injured. You know what I'm saying? So and I was like, I was surprised because he didn't look like he had no ups, no nothing. You know what I mean? So, listen, they gotta win though. I think the time is now because I think we have a chance. But I don't think we have a chance. Well, it's gonna be tough to beat Brooklyn, but you can beat Milwaukee. You could beat Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to look. I think you can beat Brooklyn if Embiid's healthy because they don't have anybody that can guard him.
But they ain't got nobody to stop Kyrie. My goodness.
Well, nobody has anybody to stop.
No. Yeah. Or even KD too. I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah, but my goodness. I mean, but Tucker does a good job on KD though.
He does.
He does a good job on him. You know what I mean? But my goodness though. Oh my goodness. Kyrie, listen, must he get on my nerves, man. He be emotional. That boy bad.
Oh, he can.
Oh
yeah.
Gosh.
When he comes to play, there's no stopping him, and that's the thing. He can go 2 weeks on an emotional roller coaster and then come give you 40 any night he wants.
And it seems like he's even more nastier than he was in 2016.
Oh, I think he is too.
I think he's also playing with a little bit of chip on his shoulder too, because when he's out there now. And he's because everyone always gets on him for his emotional rants. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to go do what I want off the court. And I'm going to represent what I want. Again, I'm still going to drop 40 every night. Don't forget what I can still do on the court.
He could ball. He could ball. You know what I'm saying? So he played well. But yeah, I'm excited about these Sixers. I know we were talking before the show. I thought about going out to the game, kind of checking it out. But, still not sure, man. You know what I mean? Not sure. It's a lot of people. I'm sure it's going to be a sellout.
I'm sure. Yeah, plus it's going to be a lot of people down there. I mean, you got the Phillies are playing at the same time. So it's going to be, I'm just saying, I'm just saying it's going to be great. If you go down there, you're going to be dealing with
it's going to be a lot of crowd from the Phillies.
No. Listen, but they had 15,000
Is
there.
it Mike Schmidt induction day or something anniversary?
What is it?
Archie Bradley.
Yeah, you're saying
Bob.
Archie Bradley, Bob. I'm just trying to give you a heads up. I mean, they only got 15,000 out there last night anyway. with the stadium.
And they lost, right?
No, they won yesterday.
I did. Okay. Well, you're happy.
I mean, okay. I know what it is.
Well, you don't know what to feel. That's what it is. You don't want to. You're afraid to feel really happy. You know, what I'm saying?
Exactly. I mean,
they're gonna break your heart.
Oh, at the end of the day, they already have because I know what it is.
Yeah, it's all good.
But it's I'm excited. We're excited about it. I mean, so I was going to ask you a question. Going to the game, would you rather go to like game one or the closeout game?
The games that I love to go to, I do like game ones. I do love games too if we're against the wall, and I love a 2-2 game 5.
Okay, yeah, because I know even talking about different games, it was like, well, I don't know if I'd want to go to game one or rather go to the closeout game. That's always, what game would you rather go to, Coach?
I mean, the closeout games are dangerous because you might leave there pretty upset.
Well, I want it to be a close line.
I don't know. It's game ones are always fun in big series. I think I've been to a couple of those game ones. I went to the game one against the Was it the I don't know if it was game one. It was the first home game against the Heat when they had
LeBron.
No. Who were the shooters that we got that year?
It's when we got
Bellinelli.
Yeah.
And I remember Bellinelli hit that crazy shot falling out of bounds.
Right.
Nuts. Yeah,
Right.
I just remember that game. But no, I think if you have a like that game against Washington would have been a good one to go to because that's a big game where you kind of not a must win, but you need to win that one. I mean, playoff games are playoff games.
That's sure,
they all
man.
matter.
No,
It's just, the feel of a playoff game is just different when you're there.
And you know tonight's going to be today's going to be rocking.
Today's going to be rocking.
It's going to be rocking.
Yeah.
Now I will say that the best closeout, well, not the best, but the recent closeout game I went to was when. Do y'all remember when Iguodala jumped up on the table?
Yeah.
I went to that game. That game was crazy.
Yeah.
When they played the Bulls, and then it was.
Is that 11 or 12?
That was 12.
Yeah.
But there was a game before. No, I think it was the same. It might. I'm not sure. We went to one of them games during that series when the Sixers were down like by 20. I was down, and that I tell you, Philly fans, when you go to a playoff game, I like to think it's like no other, but I haven't been to others like that. So, but the way that crowd energizes that team in that building. I can almost imagine that. You could feel it on TV, like it was going crazy with Curry and hitting them shots and stuff like that. So, like I agree with you. A playoff game is a playoff game, man. You know, have you been to one, Randy?
No.
Oh, okay. So we got to get you.
No, because that's what I was saying. I was thinking about at some point during this run, going to one. But it's crazy because it's either this series or not at all. Because like I was looking at tickets for the next round.
Oh,
and my goodness,
it's not happening.
No, it's not going down. I can tell you.
No,
it's not happening.
It went from 100 a ticket to like 500 a ticket.
That's right now. You know what I'm saying? That's right now. That's not come down.
Or it could go back up. I'm just saying. It's either this series or
it'll come down. It's like you know what? Like the Yankees playing the Phillies.
Oh my goodness!
Remember that one time? It was up to like $200.
Okay.
It says it's $17.
They'll be playing next weekend.
Yeah, it's $17.
Well, yeah, because they're just happy to come now.
And they wasn't happy to come before.
No, they're happy to get anybody in the stadium.
They sucked before and they suck now. Man.
They do.
No disrespect. I mean, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Yo, Dante Howard's talking about
Ocho Cinco.
Yeah, my boy. But yo, what's Ocho Cinco? What's that? What's going on here?
He is fighting. Yeah, I guess
like the with Nate Robinson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
I don't know
who's he fighting.
I don't even know who he's fighting.
I don't.
But I don't know the Logan Paul Mayweather thing tonight.
Yes.
Wait, Mayweather's fighting tonight?
Yeah. Yeah.
On Sunday night?
That's what I said earlier today.
Yeah.
Earlier today, I was like, wait a minute, it's tonight?
Yeah. Who's watching that? I'm sure some people is, but I mean, most people I know got to go work tomorrow, so I don't know.
Yeah.
The time to stay up was last night.
I don't want to see that anyway.
All right.
No, I mean, I do hope Mayweather knocks him out.
I do too.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, but that's one of those guys that just rubs me the wrong way.
Really? I don't even know who's fighting.
But that's
a shame. I should know, but I don't.
But I mean, this Logan Paul. But that's what he does. That's his
exactly what he does.
That's his MO.
He's made a lot of money for himself being a villain, and
okay. Is he like is this a UFC or this is?
No, it's boxing.
It's boxing. Oh, okay.
But it's like this guy. He's like a YouTuber.
Oh wow. Okay.
This guy it's either him or his brother's one that beat Nate Robinson.
Yeah.
Oh, and knocked him down damn.
So I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean that's Nate Robinson though. Mayweather, you shouldn't have no problems. Mayweather beat him. You know what I'm saying? Except for just being out of shape. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
Other than that, but even out of shape, I still put my money on you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, absolutely, he should. I mean, he should be able to get those hands, as they say.
Yeah.
So, but even just moving away from the Sixers and just talking about all the other NBA playoffs, which have been nothing short of phenomenal. I mean, the series that I love. I mean, I loved watching them, but that Blazers Nuggets series was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I mean, that game 5 that Lillard sent to overtime, and then he sent it to double overtime. Yeah. Damian Lillard is maybe my favorite player outside of the Sixers. I mean, he is just so fun to watch.
He is.
And unstoppable.
He is. Do you think that what's been their holdup? Because they have a decent team. Is it because of the West, or is it Stotts? I mean, because Stotts is not. I don't think he's a championship level coach.
Well, he's out now.
Well,
He's gonna
yeah,
be
I
out,
mean,
yeah.
well,
I think,
he needs to be out.
Both. I think it's both. But I also think like they don't have a championship level team.
No, they have they have a good.
I think
team.
they have good pieces.
Okay.
But I don't know if their pieces fit. Like I don't know if you can have CJ with Dame.
So two guards like that.
Two guards like that who neither of them play defense.
Okay.
If you're gonna have Dame, you gotta have
like a big, a stretch big, or something like that, or
somebody, another guard. That's why I think Curry and Clay work together so well. Because Steph Curry, and I mean Clay can shoot the hell out of the ball too,
right?
But like whoever the better guard is, Clay just goes guards. Like doesn't matter. So now Steph's never at a disadvantage.
Right, I got you.
Whereas with Portland, and Dame's not a bad defender, but he's just not a lockdown defender. He's not a guy that he's going to get 50, but then he's going to go guard Kyrie, and Kyrie's going to get 45.
Right.
So it's not like, you're not getting that advantage from it. So I think, and I like CJ McCollum a lot. I think their move is to trade him because now you have Norman Powell. I think Norman Powell can fill that role.
True.
And he can still score. So
Right.
I think now you can trade CJ to try to get another piece that you really need, as opposed to having two guys that kind of do the same thing.
I'd like to see CJ in Philly though. I think he's a good two.
I'd be okay with that.
He's all right, right?
Yeah,
because he can go get that
I guess you
bucket.
trade Maxey, right?
I'd be fine with that.
I'm just
No, I think. Well, no.
Would you do that trade?
McCollum's what? He's still in his 20s, right?
Yeah,
mid 20s.
yeah. I mean,
I would do that. I mean, Harden's what? 30, 31. Right, that's what I'm saying. I couldn't do it for him. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it for Harden because you do it for Harden, you're only doing it for like you're falling into the gap of Billy King.
but
at the same,
that's all you have Embiid for anyway.
right? But I was just going to say the same thing. All you're doing is looking at these next 2 to 3 years. That's it. Like you're not looking long term. Like
Why not?
Because the Sixers aren't going to be. The Sixers will be good. But their window to win is now. Their window
I'm not
to
saying
win
that.
is the next.
I'm not. Yeah, but you can still try to go have the window for now, but not mortgage the future. And I think that's where we used to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Think about all those players. Think about all those deals that Billy King is who really messed us up.
But
You know what I'm saying?
I think the NBA is different now though with their contracts because players are only signing 2-year contracts. They'll sign a 4-year deal, but they have an out after 2 years.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you can change your team around. I mean, we changed our team around one offseason. We were terrible last year.
Yeah, but I mean, who do we have to unload? Horford,
Who else? Josh Richardson.
right?
Which were
But Richardson was still a decent piece.
he's not even playing.
What do you mean? Oh, he just got bounced out. That's why he just lost. He was balling though. He was still playing.
No, he wasn't. He's playing with Dallas. He barely gets on the court.
Yeah.
No, he's not playing no more.
He plays. He barely he plays. He doesn't play more than 10 minutes a game.
Oh, well, they thought he was going to be a piece. We got him.
So, but my point is like you can trade, you can make trades, and you can get out of things as long as you're not signing guys because there's no more like the 10-year deal that doesn't happen anymore.
Okay.
So I think you can make deals that help. You know what I think CJ would be really good though? New York.
Yeah,
I think he'd be really good in New York.
yeah. They need him too. They need something because Randall's not a max. Come on. He's not a max.
He's not.
But I think
he's
you're
a max,
saying,
but he's not a number one guy.
I think you're saying that especially too after this. Now what
Yeah,
happened?
well, I said it before though.
But I think because I think also because of the fact the Knicks got bounced. But I think if Randall shows up more and the Knicks win that first round series, your thought process is different.
No, I said before he wasn't a max.
Well, I think
he's not a max. Yeah, I think I agree. I think he's like a second or third option.
I agree.
That's it. And if you have to pay max for a third option, that's tough.
Oh, I mean,
but maybe in today's NBA, I don't know.
So
but the Knicks need a number one.
I'm going to sit here and say this: is Tobias a max player?
No.
And you're paying Tobias max money to be basically a second or third option. So I'm saying in this NBA, you do have to.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe this NBA. Yeah. But you know what? I think if I had to do it, There's certain people, there's certain things you just got to do. Like my HVAC guy, right? I don't really want to pay this dude, but there's certain shit you just got to do, right? Like he's got me by the kahunas, and he knows it because it's hot as shit.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not thankful.
Yeah, it would be different.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or matter of fact, back to that, you was in like a little debate over some chlorine tabs recently, right? And it was a high.
You gotta bring this up.
No, I did, but there was a high markup because what?
Supply and demand.
It's pool season,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
I don't even have a pool, right? I don't have a pool. I just, sometimes I like to poke the bear.
Oh man, he was involved in this beef here. My goodness.
But sometimes it's fun to poke the bear a little bit,
But no, I get it though. I get it though. I get it.
There's different levels to the max too. So that's another thing you got to think about. Like there's the super max. There's those guys. Those are your Embiids, your Jokers, your Dames. Those guys. And then there's that because I think there's so many rules to how much guys can get paid. Like I think he's a max player, but he's not a number one option.
I don't think. He looks horrible. He looked everything. He forced everything.
Randall?
Yes, he looks horrible.
Sorry,
he looks horrible. In fact, one of my brother's friends, he had made a comment. I got to find out what he said. But he is hilarious. Did he say that the Knicks are like backup dancers? I forget what he said.
I think you're right though, because it did seem like the stage was a little too big for Randall right now. I mean, I was
everything was forced,
he was forcing it because I think he was feeling that pressure of having to be the guy.
Well, they're ahead of where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, they're not going to say though, like
they don't have the roster.
They're a young team, and that was the first playoff game in the Garden in how long?
They didn't have enough. That's what it comes.
And that's what I mean. Like, again. That is the mecca, of basketball is the Garden. Right. So to be there and you have such a young team, Trae Young let the Garden know what he thought of them before he left.
Yeah, Trae's tough.
I love that.
Trae's tough.
I love that.
Trae's tough.
That just brought me back to like old school, like that.
Yeah,
that was like
that's right.
That's right.
That not
took a bow.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The show is over.
Well, if he would have shot another one,
oh my God,
somebody needed to lay him out there.
I actually thought he was going to.
I was waiting to see if he didn't take another shot.
Right.
I was waiting.
It looked like he was about to though.
I mean, but you're right though. But that's the thing though. The NBA's been fun, and like this is the first year in a while that I can remember. Like I said, really every series being good. I mean, just to transition from that series, you got Game 7 today between the Clippers and the Mavs, and that's going to be a great game.
Yo, Luka looked mad. He looked mad. He looked mad as shit when
Luka
he lost.
Is unbelievable.
He is, but Leonard is too, though. Leonard was busting. Leonard. So it shows me that Leonard could do that anytime he wants.
But he's got to do that. He's got to do that again today.
And it's like, you know what? And that's what I'm saying. Like, people talk shit about Tyronn Lue. Yo, that dude could coach.
I agree.
Because he has such resolve and he don't panic. He's like, yo, man, we all right. We all, and I'm like, yo, that's how LeBron and them got over the hump. He was a big part of that piece. A lot of people put that on LeBron. That's cool. He's going to get the notoriety. But Tyronn Lue and what he was saying, how he was preparing that team back then is the same way he's preparing these Clippers. Paul George, though, still garbage, huh?
What do you mean?
I mean, he still had a good game the other day.
What do you mean?
Kawhi had a little good. Here we go. Has he proved?
No.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
He hasn't lived up to what he said.
And that's what I'm talking about. Okay.
Well, no. In the playoffs, he hadn't. He had a great season.
No, I'm saying, but that's what he has a lot of great seasons. Okay. But in the playoffs, he said, yo, people just keep talking about old stuff, this and that. Is it still old or is it the same old?
I will say this. He, in this last game, game 6, I'm not going to say because Kawhi won the game.
Right.
But he put them in position to win the game in the third quarter.
He hit a couple. He hit some baskets.
I mean, he had 20 and 13, But then Reggie Jackson, he had 25 and 9.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Reggie Jackson had 15 in the first quarter.
Right. So
I'd like to see George though be more aggressive.
That's what I'm saying. Well, he was aggressive, but he was missing, and he was on lock. I forget who's D'ing him up. Is that Finney Smith?
They're playing zone.
They're playing zone. Okay, zoning him up. But you couldn't stop Kawhi at all. Nothing. You had nothing for him. Who wins tonight, though? Or today, 3:30?
Yeah.
I'm going with Dallas, though. Just because I like the road team.
I mean, the road teams won every game.
Right.
Which makes me think I don't know if
that trend's gotta end.
And I just think Dallas has so much. I mean, the Clippers have so much more to lose.
Oh, absolutely.
They have so much more.
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like they got to come out. I don't know. I think if I was a betting man, which I am occasionally, I think I would take the Clippers.
I think you're wrong. Hey, Dante, I think you're wrong too. I think I'm going Dallas.
I love Dallas though. I like Dallas.
Yo, and I'm telling you why I'm going Dallas, because I think Kawhi shows up somewhat, but I don't think you get nothing from Paul George. Nothing. I think he goes back to his normal. I think he reverts back. Well, it's can't even revert back because he's just been still the same to me.
I don't know. I like the Mavs too. I like the Mavs to win the game.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just a Luka fan, and I want to, and that's the thing, and I don't know what it is. I feel like when there's certain teams like with the Clippers, there was so much hype behind them. Clippers going to championship. Clippers are a title contender. Right. So I automatically, as not a fan of either team, I'm going to root for the underdog in the series. I'm going to root for the Mavs. And, because I think the West, too, is just wide open right now.
It is.
I mean, so, the winner of this series, they got the who they're going to play. They're going to play.
The winner of this series will play Utah.
Utah, yeah.
Oh, so Utah, yeah, right. Who did Utah? Utah beat
Memphis.
Memphis, yeah, okay. Oh, Utah been sitting for a minute.
Yeah, they won 4-1.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going to be good. I mean, go over, just kind of transition and talk about the Suns and the Lakers series. What are your takeaways from that series? Because a lot of people, this is the opportunity people have had to jump on LeBron. And people, a lot of people said, the way he handled himself after the series and the way he just walked off the court. But then again, no one's talking now about how after the game, he went, talked to Devon Booker, had him, and I don't know, just I guess that initial thought, the initial visual aspect of it, of seeing LeBron walk off the court, you're like, damn. But I don't know.
It's pandemic. I mean, it's still pandemic. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I'm just saying though. I mean, but it is pandemic though. I mean,
I get that, but I mean, you could at least give him something.
Oh, did he speak to him afterwards or what?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like him and Booker had their time aside. I think that with LeBron, my thought is that I don't think LeBron was 100% during this series either. I mean, and I think that he knew without a healthy Anthony Davis, it was too much to put on his shoulders.
I didn't even watch the game, right? But tell me about the game. Was there any indication that LA was going to win, or it was just
win? No, they got down early. They got down by 30.
Oh yeah.
Then they cut it to 10 in the third quarter.
They did. Okay.
I mean, at that point, I was rooting for, because I always root for the comeback and for the game 7 and whatnot.
Right, sure.
But and it's. You're right, but as soon as Anthony Davis went down because he tried to play, and then
so he had to actually had to cut it short.
Oh, he literally played about 5 minutes, and then
he couldn't play.
No, there was a play that he was coming down to try to block a shot. He went up, he came down, and then it was it.
Yeah, okay. So I mean, those things happen, man. That's unfortunate. I mean, listen, I think LeBron and them retooled for next year. He's getting old though. You know what I'm saying? But he's still playing at a high level. So I think they need one more piece though. I don't think even with the healthy Anthony Davis, they probably
need to go get a Bradley.
They wasn't going to get it done. I think if they get CJ McCollum, that'll be good for them.
Yeah, McCollum. I was actually going to say Bradley Beal.
Is he from LA? Beal's from LA.
No, Beal's from St. Louis.
St. Louis.
But I mean, I can see him wanting to go out there and be that piece. I mean, like you said though, LeBron is getting older. I mean, and now I think that with him would be a lot more load management next year. I think that really have to rest him up. But he wasn't healthy a majority of this season.
Yeah.
And that's what it came down to. He came back early so that because if the Lakers don't make the playoffs, then that's just the ultimate failure. Yeah. Okay, they lost in this first round, fine. But he still was able to come back, will them to the playoff spot, get them back in the first round. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, too, though, the Suns are good. The Suns
They
are
are.
very good.
They are, and Booker played very well. But I think we're seeing the effects of the bubble and not having that rest from these guys.
Yeah.
I think LeBron looked worn down.
Yeah.
He's obviously not healthy. So I think we'll see. And this is going to be the first time he really gets
An off season.
In a while. Because even now, the teams that go far this year aren't going to have much of a break either because they're planning on starting.
Oh, they're going to start regular
in October. So,
okay.
So that'll be interesting. But to go back to what you originally pointed out with him not shaking hands or whatever, that's one of my biggest issues in sports. And COVID has actually made it easy for me. Like I just spent the last hour trying to kill you and not liking you and hating you and wanting to win. And now all of a sudden I'm supposed to just turn it off and like,
oh, hey, how you doing?
Friend.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I can't do like, so for me, especially coaching right now, when all I have to do is like, just give that little like wave thing. And then sometimes if I'm really upset or like we lost a bad one or I don't like how the other coach was doing things, like I can just act like, oh, I forgot. Like, I like that. And like you said, after the game, once everything cools down, you know, like at these AAU tournaments, for example, like if once everything cools down, I see you walking out, hey, good job. Like,
It's all good. Right.
It's not that it's not personal. It's just like at that moment, like it's hard to just turn it off.
Yeah.
And especially for LeBron, that's probably a lot. Like, especially after what they were doing after game 3 with all that antics that they were doing, and now to come back and lose the way they lost, like that's a lot. So for to just be able to decompress for a minute, you know, Tom Brady did it in the Super Bowl, like all that's like,
yes, he did.
You know, I don't think it's a big deal. Like,
no, because I think you make a very good point. It's like, you know, you're sitting here and you're trying to kill your opponent. You know, you got that mentality. You just lost. Your season's over. I don't care about being a good sport at that point. You know, I mean, like you said, after the game, he pulled Devin Booker aside, talked to him. You know, I don't. But look, LeBron is the one that everyone loves to hate. You know, so if LeBron does anything wrong,
it's
you know,
but I think
if LeBron cuts the crust off his peanut butter and jelly sandwich, LeBron doesn't eat the sandwich.
But I think honestly, I think we're taught, you know, from when you first started playing. That's you know, you do the sportsmanship thing or whatever. But you know, and that's where, you know, you're taught, you know, especially at young ages. Oh, you know, I remember, doesn't matter if you win or lose. Just have fun. No. It does matter. It does matter. So, you know, I'm okay with either way. I'm okay with it. You know, I don't think it was as blatant as like Isaiah and Michael. Like they LeBron at least waited till the game was over and everybody go their separate ways, whatever. Isaiah and them started walking off like,
oh yeah.
The game was still regulation, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it was like a you know, a malicious thing or whatever. He just caught up in his emotions, and again, he's the, you know, he's still the best player in the world.
He is, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So and then, you know, they lost and they were picked to repeat, and then you have all these different injuries and stuff. So it's all good.
If they have a healthy Anthony Davis, then I think it's a complete different series. I think if they have a healthy LeBron, it's a different series. I mean, I don't think that it's like 4. I think that they'll win, but I think it would be maybe even go 7 games. I mean, the Suns are good. The Suns are young and hungry.
They're okay. You know, they're decent. I mean, who they play next?
Denver.
I don't know. They may struggle with Jokic is a problem.
Jokic. I mean, how about the other day, Michael Porter Jr.? He was
a problem too.
His first
could
half
we have had him?
We've had Porter?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay. We could have had him, right? That's what I thought.
I mean,
you know, it's all good though. It's all good. Yeah, but I like Phoenix. How did Chris Paul play?
I do want to talk about it. Isn't that the draft where we took Zaire?
Yeah, Zaire Smith.
But we could have Bridges.
Yep.
We drafted Bridges.
No, everybody, when we drafted Bridges, that was the move because he's a Villanova guy, you know, and you were like, oh, finally.
His mom worked for the Sixers.
Yeah, it was like, finally, the Sixers did the right thing. Right. Then all of a sudden, they turn around and they're like, the Sixers trade the rights to Mikal.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what?
Yeah.
You know, but
Zaires not even in the league anymore.
No, he's not. And Mikal Bridges is out there just being exactly what the Sixers needed, a great wing piece. Oh. You know, but I mean, with that, you know, look, I mean, you look at how many How many drafts had that happen in? I mean, shoot. It's not just that. So
yeah, it's all good. I listen. How did Chris Paul play?
Well, he played well, but he's nursing his shoulder injury, and
Okay.
I think it was about the third quarter that came back out and reared its head. So down the stretch, he was kind of quiet.
And they still beat LeBron. Though.
They did.
Booker's different.
He was unreal.
Really?
Yeah, he's just. I think that.
Oh man, he was. See, I didn't watch. He had 47 that night, right? Yeah, he had 47.
Like watching him play, I'm like, man, like he all of a sudden like just jumped that ladder of if I had to start a team with a guy like,
he's a max or super.
Oh, he's absolutely super max. I mean, if you had to start with one guy now,
I mean, just for this year. I mean, what the hell you do last year?
He's been balling. He just has.
He's gonna go notoriety because in Phoenix.
This is the first year that they've been relevant as far as in the playoffs.
And the knock on him was always you can't do it in the play. Are you going to be able to do that at big
playoffs?
Stage? He scored. I mean, he hit 6 threes in the first quarter.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
And his shot is just so smooth.
Okay, so he was balling.
Oh yeah.
Thing.
If you had to start a team right now with one player in the league, I think we've had this question before, but it's always fun. Like when you see the guys playing in the playoffs on the big stage.
Yeah.
Who would you take
for one season or like where this is?
No, like you have to start for the next 5 years. You're going to have this guy.
Wow. Now? I mean, you're probably going with Zion.
That's probably one of the last picks.
Oh no, you're probably going with Zion.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not in the top 10, but
he's not in your peripherals right now because he's not in the playoffs.
Right, but I'm still looking at guys like I'm still looking at guys like Luka. I'm still looking at guys like Devon Booker. I mean.
Luka, yeah. I mean,
that's a great question.
I mean, there's still more. I mean, right now Damian Lillard is still like out. I mean, I would take Damian Lillard over Zion.
Yeah, you're saying in the next 5 years, right? So I mean,
like I'm saying, if
I'm balancing, you know what I'm saying? I'm balancing.
I mean, if you're okay, well, let's say going in next year, if you could take one guy, we'll change that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll change. I mean, I know it changes the question a little bit, but if you're taking one guy now to go forward with like next season to win, who would you take? Who would be your guy outside of LeBron?
And I don't know if this isn't going to help us win, but I just want to have some fun. I'm taking Steph.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna take Kyrie. Yo, Kyrie is incredible.
No, I know he is.
Oh,
I mean, he is. I mean, I think I'm going Luka.
And you know what? As tough as Drew Holiday is, yo, he makes Drew look like garbage.
Yeah, he makes everybody that he's on. I mean, everyone that tries to guard him, he just
now. You know what's a good comparison? Trae Young versus Devin Booker.
I'm taking Devin Booker.
I'm going Trae Young.
Oh no,
I'm going. Yo, listen. Come on. I'm gonna tell you like this. Yo, Booker might get busy, but I like Trae and the attitude. Show is over. Here's
the difference. Trae is doing it as the guy. Devin Booker needed Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big difference.
It's a real big
Trae
difference.
doesn't have a
he doesn't have another go-to guy.
I don't know what that word would be.
Facilitator. He don't have a starter, fire starter.
A leader.
Right.
Booker just has to come out. Just go score 50. That's all you got to do. I'll take care of the rest. I'll take care of making sure everybody else is there. Whereas Trae has to kind of do everything.
He got to do everything.
Yeah.
But Devin Booker's good.
I was going to say.
But
I think
you're still going Trae.
But I think the reason you're going Trae is because you like you said, you like how he comes out, he does the bow and whatnot.
It's the swag.
But I think Devin Booker's got that swag too. It's just not as loud.
It's the swag and the backup of it.
I mean,
on the highest stage, highest level. You doing that in the garden. You got my attention. So everybody can't play in the garden.
I think for both of them, this next series that they're in will be huge.
Sure.
For both of them.
Okay. Now, I hate to say this, I kind of see like, I'm actually putting my foot in my mouth. But I think you're right. I don't know. I think Devin has a better series than Trae, to your point, though.
But
to his point, though, that he has to do everything, where Booker just got to score.
Well, I also think it's like to your point, they're both coming off of huge series, playing the Knicks, playing at the Garden, playing LeBron.
Sure.
Now we're playing Denver,
right.
playing Sixers.
Right. I got you.
Maybe without Embiid.
Right.
It's just that level now.
Yeah,
it's come down
it's
a
like
little bit.
second round.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Like now
It does.
now we're gonna see who can.
It does.
Like the Suns got. I don't want to say that was their championship, but that was their mark to say we're here. And we're a team to be messed with over the next few years.
Okay.
By beating them, you kind of you beat LeBron, you beat the GOAT.
Right.
Or
See, I look at Phoenix as this year's Miami Heat. Like when you just made that statement about we're here for the next couple of years. Now I don't know that to be true because the main piece of them is Chris Paul. Chris Paul probably only got a couple of more years left.
He might be out after this year.
Yeah, right. And it's interesting.
So you need somebody else that's going to step in there. I don't know.
But you make a good point because then I saw where he was looking for another 2-year deal.
Yeah, so he's got which is crazy. He's got a $44 million contract next year.
Yeah,
but he's going to decline it. And he's going to try to get
another 2-year,
3-year deal for another. He's trying to get another $100 million deal.
Which I don't think he's.
What is he? 36, 35?
He's 30.
30, yeah, okay.
But I don't think that he is that kind of player now moving forward. I mean, I still think he's very
Put
good.
him in LA.
Well, they
gonna win.
I mean, he's got the credentials, meaning he just came off a season where he put a team that hasn't been at the playoffs, put him at the number 2 seed.
Thank you.
Won their first round playoff. Like he's got it.
Right.
But would you get? I mean, okay. So if you're the Suns, do you say to them, okay? Do you say I'll give you the 3-year, $100 million deal?
No.
If you're the Suns, you might do it.
I think the Suns would do it also.
I wouldn't take it though. Well,
if you're who? If you're Chris Paul, you don't take it from the Suns. You're trying to go somewhere else.
Yeah, because I just don't think that he did that for this past year, right? So I don't see him continuing to do that.
He's got to win. I mean,
the role that he has to play on that team is just probably too much for him. Like he's now in baseball terms, he can do that spot start duty, but he's more of a reliever now. I don't want him exerting that much energy as he gets.
So he's like an Archie Bradley.
But I think Phoenix
Archie Bradley's garbage.
I think Phoenix is a good spot for that because you have Devin Booker.
Yes.
You have, I mean, as much as I don't like him, DeAndre Ayton's played great.
Right.
And then you got Mikal Bridges.
Bridges is playing well.
I like LA for it though.
Oh, I mean, yeah, if he can get to the Lakers, that's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
because if you put
I
him,
don't think he's getting $100 million at the Lakers.
No,
I think he's gonna get. I think they would give him a.
But he wants a ring, though. That's the thing. He don't got no ring.
Right. And that's what I was gonna say is that if he wants the ring, he would go there to LA.
Take the ring.
Pair up with LeBron. You got LeBron for another 2 years. Chris Paul for 2 years. AD healthy.
Do you think LeBron wants that?
Do you think
Chris Paul?
Yeah, because I feel like LeBron gets whatever he wants, and if he wanted it, he would have already had it. Just like Melo. I don't think he wanted to play with Melo.
Which is interesting because they're supposed to be boys. Like,
and you can be
boys and not want to play. Yeah,
we don't play like we're not a good fit.
we don't play well together.
Yeah, that's why I like that Portland team. I just thought that they could have got it done.
Well, and that's the thing. They can't play defense.
I just think it's too guard heavy.
They have no defense though.
You know what I mean? Like Golden State was able to do that guard heaviness, but they also had other little pieces.
Well, best defensive team,
right?
Exactly.
So you know what I'm saying? Like,
and as much as people hate it, I mean, they had Draymond, and Draymond was a phenomenal piece to that.
Like Westbrook and Beal, they do nothing.
No, they're trash.
They're not going nowhere.
They're not.
We have to watch out with the trash now because I said garbage too. I forget that it's not very good. We have to watch our language. I forgot because I don't want no Kwame Brown smoke, man. So I gotta watch my language and my tone.
No, fair enough.
Can't call people garbage. We gotta just say.
So if we're going into it today, obviously we'll have to see what happens with the series today. But has your champion prediction changed moving forward now?
If Brooklyn gets past my Milwaukee, as much as I love the Sixers, Brooklyn will be the champion. There is nothing with LA losing. There is nothing in the West that can stop anything in the East, in my opinion.
I agree. I think the champion comes out of the East.
Right.
I think it depends on Harden's injury.
Yeah,
because I think he's a big piece of that. I think a game one going up against Milwaukee, everything went right. Besides Harden, everybody played great. Blake Griffin Looked like he was in the Clippers again.
You know what? That's a good role for him. I see him as playing that off the bench, annoying villain type of. Yeah. I'm going to antagonize you. I see that at this stage of his career.
It was a great signing by them. It's like you said, it was a perfect role.
He embraced it.
He embraced it. Where Philly messed up though. Why didn't they give Mike James a look?
Agreed. But you can't have Mike James at Maxey on the court.
That's true.
And I'd rather have Maxey than Mike.
I'd rather have Maxey.
It's interesting.
I like Mike James a lot.
Okay.
But when you bring up Mike, so it's going to be interesting because if Embiid's not healthy, you're going to depend on Mike Scott. And I don't know.
Who's Mike Scott?
Mike Scott.
No, Mike Scott. No,
you're going to depend on him to play some valuable minutes.
Yeah.
And especially with Howard getting in foul trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can do that.
But you know what they did against Washington was
play Ben at center.
Them played.
Right. I like that.
And I think you can get away with that. I don't know if
that's
Capella's on the floor. I don't know if you can do it as much.
Right.
But when they go with, I think it was John Collins, they put it to 5, Gallinari at the 4. I think you can do it that.
Yeah.
You know who I really like and he doesn't get. I mean, obviously he's the end of the bench. Paul Reed.
You like guys like that. You like Paul Reed, the Archie Bradleys. Like these are like
I always have.
And you highlight them. And I don't know why they get highlighted.
I've always done that though. Like I remember back in the day, it was like David Bell was a third baseman for the Phillies for a couple seasons. And I was like, I'm David Bell.
Who are these people? And nobody knows them.
Oh no, people know them. But people, my buddy was like,
his family knows him. I mean, I'm saying.
But my buddies were always like, you love to root for these underdog players. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. But I mean, like I said, it'll be. I just think that you're going to have to rely on Scott a little bit, and we'll see. But like putting Ben at the 5 was a nice move. And
it was,
and that's where I think too. Like we talk about at the end of the day, how much Doc Rivers has made such a difference on this team.
Yes,
because I don't think that Brett Brown makes that move because I don't think he has.
He doesn't have the acumen. He doesn't have the coaching acumen.
You just took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, he can't go to Ben and say, "Hey Ben, I need you to do this." Right. Doc says, "Hey, this is what I need you to do," and Ben says, "Okay." And
he's Terry Stottish.
I was like,
no, he is though.
No, he is. He is, and
like, who's Terry Stottish? Like, how did he get a job?
Terry Stottish got a good career. He won a lot of games. He won a lot of playoff games.
Yep.
They just couldn't. I mean, they were in the Western Conference Finals.
Yep. 8 seasons in a row.
I mean, he's going to be coaching somewhere.
He will, absolutely, because I could see him. He's you're right. He is like Brett Brown and Terry. I feel like Terry Stott got a little better credentials than Brett Brown does.
They're not in the same league.
They're not in the same league.
But I think you're going to see him get another job. I'm interested to see what happens with Damian Lillard because, I mean, I think he should stay, but
I mean, he's got to have to stay after all he's been talking about people chasing rings and running around.
Oh yeah,
he kind of has to stay.
He does, but I mean, I think Portland's going to have to try to surround him with some other players because I think he's going to be one of those guys that at the end of his career you're going to look and say, man, like that was a waste.
No, I think we got to get some coaching out there though. I mean, Terry. I mean, they haven't went past the first round, right?
He lost in the Western Conference Finals. The Warriors.
Yeah. Oh, like last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Oh, 2 years ago. Okay.
But I mean, it's. And that's a conversation for the offseason and see what we'll see what happens. I mean, it's just this, like I said before, though, this was the first year in a while that like I was really intrigued on every series. And I was always, I'm always flipping it on.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's great for basketball now is it was so open. And that the new teams being involved. That's why I think it's great for the Suns to be winning, the Jazz to be winning. That's why I'd like to see the Mavs win. Mm-hmm. Especially and highlight these superstars for for the casual NBA fan who's now watching because it's the playoffs and you see Luka. Like, I mean, you get to watch Luka, but like to have him on center stage for a longer period of time, that's good for the NBA. You know,
I mean, he's good. He's good. I think today I got Philly and Dallas for the predictions.
Philly and Dallas.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Philly and the Clippers. Even though I'm going to be rooting for Dallas, but I think the Clippers are going to win.
You're going Dallas. I don't know what do you think of that?
No, I'm going Dallas. I just, like I said, if there's a game the Sixers could lose, I think it could be like a game 1 like this, where the Hawks come in and sneak them and steal game 1.
Nah,
But-
I think that to me, I mean, and I hope I hit the nail on the head. I think any game that the Hawks win is going to be in
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay.
They play very well there.
Oh yeah.
They play extremely well there. You know what I'm saying? I think the New York, the New York, just being in the Garden, that just rose, Trae, whatever. I just don't think they come with that same energy like that. I just don't think so.
It's funny. People say there's a reason that teams never play well in Atlanta.
Really? Well, what is the chicken wings?
Yeah,
I was gonna say the lemon.
I don't know what it is.
Lemon pepper
chicken
wings.
Everybody says that.
Oh.
They get down to Atlanta and people it's just they can't figure it out.
And they play very well now. I mean, they call it the hit factory or something. Highlight factory, man. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure they get their fair share of lemon pepper wings, though.
Oh, yeah. Dante told my ATL. Yeah, no, please. Six is going to win, bro. Six is going to win. But, hey, yo, how about, and this was interesting news. It's a little off the subject a little bit, though. Yo, how about Brad Stevens
I was going to bring that up.
stepping down, but then stepping up? Like, where does that happen at? And how does that happen? My goodness. Hey, listen. My. That's all I say. My.
I mean, that had to be something obviously that they knew was happening.
Yeah, that was talked about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting. I mean, there's obviously many avenues to take that conversation.
Sure.
Him moving up, how does he now work the front office with players that he just coached for the last 7 years? So meaning like one of the big things I think they need to do is trade Marcus Smart. So Marcus Smart has been your guy. He's went to war for you as a coach. And in basketball, usually it's the coaching staff and the players against the front office.
Front off, right.
So like as a coach, I'm sitting there like, no, they better not trade you. No, you're my guy. You're this. And now I have to trade you.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be very tough. You know, it's like, you know, we all at McDonald's working on fries and then somebody get promoted. So I mean, that's what it's like.
No, it is. It is.
Because now it's like, okay, yeah.
You guys used to all be
I was
there
in the
together.
battle with you, but bye.
Yeah.
Now I'm up here.
Yep.
You know, I guess my thing is, and I do think that I think that he's a good coach, actually. You know what I'm saying? For what he did, what was it? He coached Butler, right?
Butler.
Yeah.
Back to back.
So I think that what he did, I mean, he definitely orchestrated that deal for Gordon Hayward, right? And, he robbed Boston, right? He didn't really, but unfortunately he got hurt though. That was because that man started, forgive me for I was messed up. You know what I mean? Because he had a gruesome injury. But I just don't understand. Like, I'll be honest, when I first heard it, right, and I said, "Damn, wait a minute, yo, he got fired, or he quit one job, and then got promoted." I was like, "Yo, listen, it's privilege is a motherfucker, man." I mean, I'll be honest with you, privilege is something else, man. Yeah. Like, my goodness,
oh yeah,
my, damn. That's all I can say is damn.
Oh yeah,
but it doesn't surprise me for Boston. But that team, that area, city, doesn't surprise me. But damn.
I mean, it absolutely. I mean, that's kind of what goes on there. I mean, Boston within itself, they have their own set of rules, set of things that they follow. But you're right. That's a great way to word it. That you went from working on the fry line together to now being promoted. So, and like you said, how do you go as a coach who is now riding with your guys to now be like, okay, I have to be able to take that hat off, put this hat on of what I'm doing for the organization. So a guy like Marcus Smart or whoever it may be, that you now have to look at a trade, and it was like, and you may know that he's got, stuff going on with his family or whatever it may be. And then you're like, well, I got to take that piece out of it and I got to be a general manager.
Right.
So, one other thing I wanted to bring up was Coach K announcing his retirement. From college after this season.
Oh, okay. So they have a farewell.
Farewell.
And then let's go into that same conversation. John Shire. All the players that came out of Duke. And you get Shire.
You know what's interesting? A lot of those guys, Johnny Dawkins, Tommy Amica,
right?
Even Chris Collins, Wojo.
Yeah.
I'm missing somebody.
Hurley.
They all they waited there so long for him to leave, and then they were like, all right, he's not going.
I got to bounce. I got to do my thing.
And then now it's like John Shire, who I'm not saying he's not deserved. Like he's the associate. I get it all. Just moves right on up.
They just slides right in.
Like it's just crazy. It's crazy.
I never was a Coach K fan.
I was.
Yeah, thank
Well, you,
you.
you played this game.
I did.
You didn't like him back then either?
I also play Madden. I don't
Okay.
care about him either.
Yeah, I never liked Coach K.
Never?
I thought he was a sneaky. I thought he wasn't genuine. Like that's just my feeling of Coach K.
Tell me who you think is genuine in college basketball.
Well, that's another story.
Okay.
John Chaney.
Yes, that's true.
John Chaney was
That's
genuine.
true.
He just told you how it was.
But he cared about the kids.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll kill you.
Calipari, I don't think so.
No. Rick Pitino, he's a
I don't think so
genuine guy.
either.
No, that was complete sarcasm.
But I thought K was. I thought Coach K was. I thought K. I mean, you know what? I liked Duke before they became like the
powerhouse.
a powerhouse.
I don't know. My thing was with Coach K. I think he was there for the kids, but it was just I don't know
Because they were the can't get right for a while. They couldn't get over the hump for a while, for some years until was it with Hurley and Leitner?
And Leitner, yeah.
Until then, they could not get over the hump. It was actually Hurley. He owes a lot to Hurley and Leitner.
Yeah,
he does.
I think genuine's not the word because that's not true. But I think he was doing things the right way until he conformed to all the one and done stuff. And I'm not saying he
Sure,
I'm sure
okay.
you have to.
Right.
But I think that whole time, like even when he had JJ Redick and guys and Nolan Smith and guys
Right.
like that, I still didn't like them, but I still like that was like that's a premier program.
Right, absolutely.
You know, I do think he cares about the guys that are with him, all that stuff. And then when he started, and I don't even know who the first class was. It might have been that Okafor class.
Or Kyrie. Kyrie was 8 games and done.
Kyrie. Yeah. I mean, that was different because he got hurt, and I think he was the only one in that class.
Okay.
But then he went, whatever, I don't know, maybe it was Okafor, when there's like 4 of them were one.
Okay.
Then you could just see
the pattern
changing in their program.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
But I don't think he probably couldn't avoid
No,
it.
you
though.
can't avoid it
And
because then you're not going to have anybody.
You're not going to have anybody.
But
right.
I mean, before that, I was like, I don't like you, but I respect,
you respect
your
you
got a
respect the
good
program. Right.
Now it's just like, that's just all trash.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I just never liked him. Never did.
I did. Especially, I mean, my first recollection of a Duke team was that Tommy Amica team, Johnny Dawkins team when they lost to Never Nervous Purvis. Jersey. Is he a Jersey cat? Jersey cat. You know what I'm saying? That was my first introduction into Duke or whatever. You know, and I've always liked Duke. You know, I didn't like Duke. I even liked them when they was playing my UNLV, and I love UNLV running Rebels. But listen, John Shire gets the job. I mean, you have so many other cats that I mean, my gosh.
But he did his time and slid right in.
You know who's a Dukeite? A Dukeite or whatever you call him. I could Dukeite. But you know who's a good Dukeite or whatever. You know who's a good I used to love Trajan Langdon.
Trajan Langdon. Yeah, that's a good.
He's a general manager now, I think, for somewhere.
That's a good name.
But he used to get busy.
Yeah.
So like Trajan Langdon, man.
No, I mean he was good. I mean, now do you think that this obviously with Duke UNC has always been like the big rivalry? You think it has a major impact now without Coach K behind the helm?
Roy Williams is out too.
Yeah, I'm saying without those guys there.
Yeah, I mean it just goes into a new era.
Yeah.
But I just don't see the John Shire. I mean, it's not a name to me. It's not a, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, maybe you don't need a name. I don't know. Did Shire make the league? No. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I would like to see maybe Tommy Amica. He's done a good thing at Harvard. Johnny Dawkins done some good things.
I would be interested to know if Coach K talked to those guys about it.
A conversation. You know what I'm saying?
I'd
Something.
be interested just to know if hey, listen, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm okay.
What do you think? I would just be interested.
Right.
Like whether even offered the opportunity.
But even like let's say Syracuse, right? So let's say Boeheim steps down. I'm okay with Jerry McNamara getting a job. You know what I'm saying?
Because
I'm okay. He's okay.
That's a perfect tie.
Perfect tie. He's put his time in. He won a chip. Did Shia win a chip with him?
Not sure.
Hey, Jerry
McNamara.
G-Mac was
I liked him. I liked him. I did.
G-Mac was that dude. I'm actually shocked that he's not in the league. I actually thought that him, and you know whose game reminds me of him? What's his name? D. You know what I'm talking about on Villanova. I think they're similar. Is it Archie Diacono?
Yeah. I think Jerry. Yeah.
I think he's little, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, Jerry.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that
was like 6'3".
Is he?
Yeah. McNamara, I think, barely 6 foot.
McNamara reminded me of from BYU.
Jimmer.
Okay.
Jimmer for that.
Yeah. He never made it either, though, right?
I mean, he was in the league, but he didn't.
He could shoot the hell out of the ball, though, in college.
Okay, G-Mac, though.
He could. I mean, there was something I just wanted to bring up. The other thing I want to bring up, once again, the consistent issue, no matter what, you had the other day, Bob Renly make a comment with the racial undertones. I don't know if you guys saw this or not.
Who's Bob Renly?
Bob Renly is a scumbag who is right now, he used to be the manager or the head coach of the head coach of the Diamondbacks years ago.
Oh, is he the one that said that somebody was wearing Nolan Ryan's do-rag?
Yeah, it wasn't I forget who he
Tom Seaver.
Yeah, he's like
he said Tom Seaver's do-rag.
But he just went out there once again with the undertones, and it's just like, man.
Who did he make the remark to?
About Marcus Stroman. And he didn't make it to anyway. He made it while he was announcing the game. He made, he got Tom Seaver's do-rag out there. But again, it was just like, why do you even need to comment on it? Like, because Bob Renly, I hate to say it, you knew what he meant by this. You knew there was racial undertone to it. And it's just now it's like, I'm just going to take a step back. I'm going to take time out.
This is off topic. Have you ever seen a baseball player wear a do-rag under their hat?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
I've never seen it either.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times.
Huh.
I mean, Manny used to wear a do-rag all the time.
Really?
Sure enough.
Then he had the dreads.
Right. Sure enough.
At least Sure enough. That's what I thought. I've never seen anybody like that. I was shocked he even had it on.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not condoning what the guy said at all. I was just surprised. I was surprised that he had it on.
He said. See, I see. He's got Tom Seaver's do-rag.
Yeah, but she's like, come on, like Bob Renly, you're a scumbag. Yeah. Like, just no, and it just, and you could just tell he's
smart though. I don't get it.
What don't you get?
I don't know. Maybe I gotta let it ponder a little bit. I don't know. I gotta let it. He had Tom Seaver's do-rag on.
The thing, and I think, and I get it.
I'm trying to understand it.
So you don't think it was as bad as people are making it, or?
I don't know. I'm trying. I don't understand it.
I just think you got to know. You got to know. And
I don't know who the hell Bob Renly is.
So if you look at Bob Renly, and he's had issues.
I think that's what it is too.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is he? I don't know.
And that's what I mean. He's but Bob Renly is that guy with the white privilege and the undertone that he used. Like, you don't even need to comment on it. Focus on the game. And
that's nothing that I agree. That's nothing I needed to comment. We don't go talk about when somebody has different bracelets on or somebody new tattoo.
Okay.
We don't say anything about that.
He called attention to
it. If somebody changes their hair, we don't say anything about it.
That's it's just like going around of like, let's say it was like, real preppy haircut he's got there. Like, I'm just saying, like, if someone made a comment like that, but Bob Renly, I just had to bring that up because
I just don't know who Bob Renly is. I think
he's a nobody. Is. I mean, he was, he had a career as a manager. He won the World Series with the Diamondbacks. Well,
did he?
Schilling and Johnson.
He's the one that beat my Yankees.
Yeah, yep, in the walk-off by
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't.
He's a scumbag. He's a scumbag.
He was. But with that, No,
right,
I mean, no. That's just one of those things. It's like and nothing's going to be done about it. He took that leave of absence. It's going to be swept under the rug and never come back around again.
But that's what happens. Though.
No, I know it does.
I mean, what? Just devil's advocate. What should be done about it?
That's a good point. I mean,
and my point meaning it's meaning this. What I mean by that is it's not he didn't commit a crime or anything. Like you should lose his job.
that's what I mean. Like let him
go. You can't do this anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't do this anymore. Like
no, that's
trust me, I'm not condoning it all, but like I don't think this is something that needs to be. And I think the more attention we put on these things, the more it happens. So I'm saying, all right, you said this, you're fired, not leave of absence. You're fired. Who's next?
Yeah, keep it moving.
Right? Because I think what happens is when we highlight these things and, okay, I'm going to take my leave of absence for what I did. It's just like when we talk about with the cops and everything like that. There's no, the next guy coming in, if I mess up, all right, I just got to take my
example,
and I just go.
Yeah.
You're get off the air. You're fine.
Right. It almost needs to be what they used to do it. Sometimes and jobs do it too. They'll say, oh, we got to get a sacrificial lamb.
Oh yeah,
and that's
it right there.
That's similar like what's happened with the guy in Boston who threw the water. He's arrested. You're in jail.
Right.
You're getting prosecuted on assault.
Right.
Like
that's right.
Yeah.
Right. You need a sacrificial lamb sometimes to get everybody in order.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely.
It's messed up though. But I get that. And that's been happening for a long time. You know what? Something that's interesting. I know because I know you're about to close. I don't know about this. Has been something I wanted to research it, and maybe you guys know about it. But what's going on with the tennis player? Is there something happening with the tennis player where the media, she feels bullied by the media and stuff like that? I think that's a interesting point, and it kind of speaks to a little bit that the stars are always coming into their stardom every day, exponentially, right? So then, but are they being geared for the public relations piece, right? Well, and at the same time, they're still human, they're still people.
And she's young.
So the media, is there any type of, like everybody you always hear say the media is sharks. And I've been getting in a lot of debates with some friends of mine about, Stephen A. and Kwame Brown. And my take on it sometimes is like, yo, that's just his job. Like he's got a family. He's got to try to provide. That's his lane. But is there like media training that is going to allow for them to have some sort of sensitivity towards the individual or the star? Is there sensitivity training for the media?
I don't think there
should be.
I don't think there is.
There should be.
I agree, but I still think that when it comes to the media, it's like part of your job as an athlete is that you need to be able to have the thick enough skin to deal with whatever I throw at you. And I feel, so that's.
But why do they have that power? Why does the media have that power?
It's been that way for years.
It's been a lot of ways for a lot of years. But why do they have that power is what I'm saying.
Coach?
I don't know the answer.
I was going to say, because I don't really know.
Like the media is one of those jobs that when you get it, you just go.
Yeah.
Right? They're like you're saying, there's no training. There's no like people just move up the ranks. I'm a writer. I'm this. Now I'm covering this. Right. Now I'm interviewing this person.
Right.
And it's what I don't understand is why do athletes, why are they forced to talk to the media?
Right.
They require.
Like I have to. And it's interesting. She didn't go to whatever. I don't even know what event it was.
Yeah, it was the French Open.
Okay, so she didn't go to her media event for that. And instead of saying what's wrong, like how can we help you, like what do we need, like what can we do to help? They said, listen, if you don't start doing this, you're not going to be able to play in the rest of the majors.
And the thing is, they're shooting themselves in the foot because she's one of the most young and up and coming stars. But you're right. But it's always been. And the thing is with like you brought it up, Coach, when you become in the media, you're a shark because that's the only way you're really getting to move up. Most of the time is, if you're going from just your run-of-the-mill Daily Journal writer is by becoming a shark. But you're right, Jay. I mean, why don't they have more training? I mean, you look at it too. I mean, remember, not Ricky Williams, Marshawn Lynch.
Right.
Marshawn Lynch didn't want to talk to the media, and they were jumping on him, and it was because he legitimately had an anxiety issue.
Yeah, but I don't think I also don't think he felt as though like he should be obligated. I get both parts of it because there's certain things that you have to do. Like being an athlete is still a job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get that. And I'm just being objective. I get that. But so when part of that job comes like media, obligations, you know what I'm saying? Just like being in politics, especially as you continue to go up the ranks, like, you got to have some media obligations or, you got to learn how to, be political, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So, but is there a sensitivity? Because they're still people.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I'm saying? They're still people. And I just think if they're pushing someone to, like this young female to cause her anxiety or bringing out some mental health stuff, I don't think that's right. Like that's a bit of a problem. You know what I mean?
It's not. But again, I think the tennis is another one of those sports where privilege comes through. Mm-hmm. and I think that I'd be interested.
I don't know any sport where it doesn't.
No, you're right. But you're right. But I mean, but especially in tennis, things like that. But
Sure.
And I think it would be interesting to see if it was a young white tennis player,
right,
how the response would be,
right.
And maybe they're jumping on her.
The questions I think would be different, and that's the thing. That's the sad thing.
Yeah, but again, that's still what we're working on. So it's a good point, and it'll be interesting to see because now it's not only going to impact her, off the court, but on the court. And it's a shame because she's young, she's done nothing but great things so far in her career. So. I don't know, but it is interesting to kind of research a little more.
Sensitivity training for, I remember a young man, actually, congratulations to Bryce Showell. He's actually, he helped me with my campaign, helped me with a lot of different things. He actually just graduated from Rutgers Games over the weekend. He's going to medical school, man. He's going to be a doctor. He's a good kid, you know what I mean? So shout out Bryce Showell.
Right now, it'd be better if he went to HVAC school for you.
Huh? So, but he started a petition that talked about like some type of police having like sensitivity training or something like that. So, maybe some type of sensitivity training for the media or something like that.
I think absolutely
something to kind of get them to understand because. I mean, she's just a little girl. Like, I get it that people want to know. You report the news, and the news is supposed to be unfiltered and unadulterated. You know what I'm saying? But supposed to be.
I was going to say.
Supposed to be. You know what I mean? But it's all good, though.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Dante Howard, you're wrong. He says ATL, he got Atlanta and the Clippers. No, you're wrong, bro. It's definitely going to be Sixers and Mavs. I got $5 on it for anybody that want it.
I mean, but it is a shame, man. It is a shame. Yeah. I mean, she's only 23 years old. She's already won 4 Grand Slam events. So, I mean, she's the future of it. So, one other thing a buddy of mine just brought up. Today is 20 years to the day that AI told Tyronn Lue how he felt about him in game 1 of the
I remember it. Yeah, that's right. That's right. 20 years.
20 years today.
That's right. And it was on was it a Friday night? I don't know. I know I was working at Comcast.
It was a night game.
It's a night game. Yes. I'm working at Comcast and I'm like, damn, I was mad because I'm like, damn, I got to work. But we're at Comcast, right? Yeah. So we could watch it.
If there's any place to be.
We could watch it in the cafeteria. I remember getting off the phone, watching it, watching it.
So that's what happens when
everybody. It was
that's
quite.
That's why no one answers the phones.
It was quite a few people in there watching the game when we like, yeah. So I'll never forget that stuff. That's back when I used to smoke cigarettes. Wow. It was a long time ago.
Oh, man. Jay's watching through the window out there.
Yeah. That was, though. No, it was, though, because we had an outside, like an atrium, outside, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that game. That was a great game.
It was.
It was a great game.
Well, it was fun, too, because, I mean, we for that little glimmer, a moment, you're like, could it happen? Could the Sixers upset the Lakers? And everyone did. And
if you think about game 2, wasn't a blowout.
Yeah,
it wasn't a blowout. They should have won game 2.
Game 2 should have been a win.
And 3.
I don't remember.
And 3 was close too.
And I just remember we should have gone back to Philly up 2 games to none.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone knew that when we lost that second game, it was like, oh, we could have taken that game. Yep. And all of a sudden, you know, but it was an exciting series, you know.
Yeah. And the year that disappoints me the most, I know we got close.
Oh, it's okay.
But the year that disappoints me, one of the most recent years during that era, it wasn't the 0-2, because the 0-2, that was a terrible year, too. We lost to Boston. I went to that game, too. And we lost to Boston by like 50 in that closeout game 5. Like 50. Paul Pierce and Anton Walker, they was doing them terrible. But it was the next year, the 0-3 year, with Coleman. They had Coleman. They had, you know, they were right there. And they lost to Detroit. And that was Larry Brown's last year.
But that's when they went on to win it, though, right?
Huh?
Didn't Detroit go on to win it that year?
No.
Not that year. No.
The next year.
That was 2004.
They should not have lost that. They lost that game.
Dario Saric. Or not Dario Saric.
No.
Milicic.
No. But that was the pick. That was old. It was an
03. 03 draft.
Yeah, it was the 03 draft. It was the 04 draft.
04 draft.
I know I got off top. I just always laugh because he got a ring.
Because he could have got Melo.
That's 03, isn't it?
It's got to be 03.
Yeah.
After the 03 season.
Yeah.
So after the season you're talking about.
So Larry Brown picked, though. Because Larry Brown quit. He quit us, and he went to Detroit.
I don't know if he was there yet, but yeah.
Probably. Larry Brown gets blamed for that Milicich's pick.
I think Joe Dumars gets blamed for it. Because Joe Dumars gets killed as a GM.
Oh, he does.
Because of the end of his time in Detroit. But in the beginning, he was
that dude. Yeah. Yeah. I just remember them losing to Detroit, though. And I hated that. You know what I mean? That was a tough series for them. But they lost to them. You know what I'm saying? That's when I realized, I was like, yo, you know what? Who the fuck is Chauncey Billups?
Chauncey was
It was a problem.
I still think he's a very...
That was when they started getting notoriety. Because I'm telling you, people, I didn't really understand who he was.
Yeah, because you had Chauncey, and then that was Ben Wallace was on that team.
Right. A Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Please. But Chauncey's not.
I mean, obviously I know Ben is a Hall of Famer. I think if Ben's a Hall of Famer, then Chauncey Billups. Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying, right? Big shot Billups. I mean, come on.
That's the thing, though. Now with Ben Wallace getting in, like you're going to look at guys and say, well, if Ben Wallace is a Hall of Famer, then this guy's a Hall of Famer. You know, if Ben Wallace is a Hall of Famer, then Lou Williams is a Hall of Famer.
Ben Wallace Hall of Fame pick was like, it's kind of likening to like the Phillies.
I knew it was coming.
It is. It's similar.
I knew it was
very good. You know what I mean? Like, let me ask you a question. Who was a Philly that's a Hall of Famer for other team, but they played for the Phillies at one time?
Well, Jim Tomei.
Okay, who's he going as?
Probably going as a Cleveland Indian. Cleveland Avenger now. They're not the Indians anymore.
Really?
When did that change?
Just the other day. So they dropped the Indians' name, you know, and they're looking to become the Cleveland Avengers.
Wow. Okay. What about the Washington Redskins?
That's just the Washington football team.
So they still haven't changed that?
No,
name
they haven't changed it.
They had a good year.
Wow.
Now,
I keep it though. I actually like the name.
I like it too. And then you know, because now there's the push for a lot of these teams to, you know, get away from that. Like the Atlanta Braves, they want them to, you know, to change their name.
Yeah.
So, but you know, because they used to have the chop and everything, and they got away from that. Which, I mean, still was one of the coolest. That was the coolest.
I thought it was all right. Yeah.
In 95, 96, when the games were on, and you just see the whole stadium doing the chop.
Yeah, that's right. And you see the Yankees coming in and chop their asses away.
They did in 96. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Jimmy Leyritz.
After being down 0-2.
Jim Leyritz.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Was Girardi on that team?
Probably in 96. Yeah.
I think he might have been.
Because Girardi won, I think, 4 rings as a kid.
Yeah.
So
but we still like Posada better though. So
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Well, they're different. They were different catchers too.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
were different catchers.
That's
I mean, Girardi was he was just the perfect catcher. Backstop.
Well, I'm not saying you
Backstop.
got Girardi, you had Posada, you had Labors. Those were good catches.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Marcus, no way I'm getting with
I
that.
know.
They were
I know.
good.
for joining
I was just
us.
gonna say no. I was gonna say. I know where you're going with
They
this.
were good catches.
They were good catches. They were good.
Good defensive catches.
Yeah. I mean, you would give them a max deal.
Not 500 million. I mean, how's
125.
all right. Well, how's he playing?
He's doing okay.
He's doing okay.
He's been injured recently.
Right. But Bryce is back.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great.
Right.
So I'm not, it's not even the end of June, not even the middle of June, and the season's already over. So that's all you got to say about that.
I mean, but you knew that though.
I know.
It's all good.
But I don't want to say the season's over because I'll still be tuned in every day.
You
but
will.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Coach, what are your final thoughts today?
I'm just looking forward to 1 o'clock today.
Yes.
I'm kind of disappointed at 1 o'clock.
Two.
I would have liked the 3:30 game.
I actually would like six.
I like the evening game.
The evening game.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for that, man. I think it's a big one for the Sixers just to see where we're at and set the tone for the series, man. I think that'll. And then right after that, it's a monster one, man. I think that's going to be a great game.
It's the game.
Where a lot of guys have to who's going to show up and who's not going to.
And you'll have that random guy show up.
Right.
No.
Who's going to be? So that's
Josh Richardson hit some big shots for the match.
He won't.
He won't.
We need Jalen Brunson to come up big.
Yeah,
Big time.
yeah.
And I think Hardaway too.
Hardaway's been playing well.
He's kind of you know what I mean.
Always a fan of him. Always. Jay, what are your final thoughts?
Man, just trying to enjoy the day, man. I'm really thinking about going down there, man. Tickets is down to like $50 now. You know what I mean? So
And it's air conditioned.
And it's air conditioning, yeah. See, right? Because we ain't got no AC, man. And I want to see that. I want to see that game, and I want to see the other game as well.
Pack your lunch, though. Pack your lunch when you go down there.
What you mean? Wow.
Plus, you know how expensive it is at the stadium.
All right, come on, Randy. I mean, we gotta get out of that sometimes.
No, listen.
I remember when you bought steaks from the Dollar Tree.
Shh. Come on. That was a big mistake. No pun intended. That's a big mistake. That was huge. I remember. Because the funny thing is, I remember going to cook them.
Right.
No matter what I did, that thing did not cook.
See, Marcus is like, wait a minute. Oh, I always just thought Jay was just kind of playing. No,
it's not. It's no joke.
He went and got the steaks.
Yes, I did. It was like, I was like, oh, Jay, check out these ribeyes. I was like, what? And this is like they flattened steak.
Right.
And, it wasn't like a flat iron
vacuum
steak.
sealed.
Vacuum sealed flat steak. And I remember that I went to cook it at home, and no matter what I did, that thing did not cook well.
No, just like the cheese didn't melt.
That cheese didn't melt. It did not melt. I remember you came over to one time, and I was like, "You one day?" You're like, "Nah, is that the dollar store?"
Right.
Thanks, I'm good.
But you did put me on. I did start buying vegetables from the. I did buy frozen, but you used to be able to buy frozen vegetables from. You probably could still buy frozen.
Yeah. See, every Dollar Tree is different.
Okay.
Every Dollar Tree is different.
Okay.
And there's the quality dollar.
Right.
So everyone's different.
Right. I've been in a super Dollar Tree. Have you ever been to a super Dollar Tree?
No.
There's one in PA.
Oh.
That's just crazy.
Oh my God, I got my heart fluttering. Dollar Tree. Oh man.
They may have the steaks there. I don't know.
I'm sure they do. Oh man. But I know same thing though as you guys. I'm excited about the game today. I'm excited about watching Game 7. And
Sure.
we close out our season on Tuesday against Bishop Eustace.
You did, or you're going
No, we're
to?
going to close out this season.
Okay. No playoffs?
Tuesday. Unfortunately not.
Okay.
But it was a good season. We grew. Shout out Angel Perez, second team all conference from Camden Baseball.
Oh, wow. That was the wrong one. My
I
God.
hope it wasn't a boo. I don't know
It
what
was
that
a
was.
wong. Oh, goodness. My
Shout
bad,
out-
Angel Perez. No, that
Shout out to Angel, second team all conference.
Yeah, I'm confused now.
So we're excited about that and
always
for him to represent Camden well.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. Well, with that said, shout him out. Shout him out.
There we go.
Oh, no, he's just a ball player, so I want to shout him out.
Is that the one that made the catch?
No, that was Rob Hamilton.
Oh, okay.
But Angel's just been everything for us: pitching, hitting, third base. He's done it all.
That's good.
And he led the team in hits, RBIs, strikeouts. He did it all. So he was our workhorse.
That's good, man. Yeah, congratulations to you, man. Yeah, it was just pretty good. Coaching after it was your first year under your belt. Well, second year. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was my second year under my belt.
So
I had the 1 year at Timber Creek, but I would say that the role I had on this team was a bigger role.
Right.
So I would say this was really my first real coaching opportunity. When I was with Timber Creek, all shout out to them, but I was more of a consultant type, but this was my first year and I'm excited about it. So
that's good, man.
Definitely excited about growing. I know the new high school will be opening up next year, and so we're hoping that we have
in September.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The new high school.
It's beautiful too, man.
It is very nice.
It's beautiful.
And we're hoping that helps draw more people and draw more kids to come out for the team. And also, we're going to have a regular school year next year, knock on wood, and be able to get in there early and do more recruiting and continue to grow.
Right.
So
listen, watch out, man. They're going to try to recruit you too, get you in that building, man.
Listen,
they're going to try to do it. I'm trying to tell you, it's going to happen.
I'm okay with that.
All right. That's what's up, man.
So, all right, gentlemen. Well, for Marcus Bullock, Jason Bryce, I'm Randy Duncan. Once again, appreciate you watching. Let's Get It. You can always catch us on YouTube, on the Four Walls Foundation's page. You can watch all our former episodes on our Facebook page. Follow us during the week. A lot of different updates, opinions. Always post if you have questions for us. And we appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you next time.